anything else, I knew I needed a rat like you on my team. Little freaking stat nerd.
I did it. I don't take that, man. I bombed it.
Straight diarrhea too.
And he's just getting excited because he hasn't had the taste of the top of the leaderboard since he was fucking 2.
Well, I was gonna say, was I born to be an electrician?
The Bills Mafia, baby! Buffalo 1!
I'm gonna start this part off with a bit of a maybe hello and welcome back to the Five Back Podcast, because I don't know if this is gonna be its own episode or if it's gonna be a part of episodes. I think we'd be on 69, so a nice number. This might be in the middle of episode 69, towards the end. This might be its own episode depending how long we go. But either way, it's that time of the year again. And I'm joined with Athan because
yes, sir.
We did one of these last year, and then we had one where we reacted to it in a couple months ago, probably a month ago.
A month or two, yeah.
It is the F1 season. It's underway. It starts tomorrow.
Woo!
We're recording this on the Friday before this season, so we have seen a bit of qualifying, which kind of gives us, is kind of cheating when we give our predictions.
Yeah.
But it came up on us fast. The season just was kind of there. It kind of just, I didn't know it was here already. Did you have that feeling too?
Yeah, it just randomly, it feels like just last week they were releasing liveries and stuff like that, and
all of a sudden,
here we are.
Bam, it's here. There's a little bit of news we'll go over before, of course, we do our predictions. We'll be ranking the new liveries, which is the design of the car, our predictions of the drivers and of the teams themselves. But yeah, just kind of crazy. Qualifying already happening. Races on a Saturday, start of the year.
It's just weird.
Races in Bahrain, which I'm always a fan of the season starting in Australia.
Yeah.
But I think that's coming back next year.
I hope so.
It's just just as tradition, no need to change it, in my opinion. But two things before we get into the actual rankings. As many of people in this country, in this continent, we kind of got into F1 through Drive to Survive.
Yeah.
New season out now, season 6. I haven't seen it. I've seen 30 minutes of the first episode. You have finished it, TCAT.
I did.
Thoughts on the season? How was it? Taking into account that Max ran away with it last season. How was the new season of Drive?
Well, I like how they didn't focus on Max really at all. So it's nice. So you got to see all the other teams and stuff, what they went through, all their new parts getting in, stuff like that. But it's just sad knowing, seeing Gunter there.
Yeah.
And knowing he's not going to be there. And they didn't even have, a goodbye for him.
Wow.
Because it was too late, so they just put on the screen. He did not get his contract renewed for the next year.
Oh, one of those at the end, Wow.
Yeah, so it was a little sad there. And seeing Lewis in the Mercedes, where now, as of next year, he is going to be in Ferrari.
Which is the next piece of news that we'll talk about here in a minute. But I just want to say, when the Gunter news came out, we actually gave him a spot on the main show. Just has to remember it's to a real one. He is a real one. I hope he's still involved with the show, in the next season, even if he's not in F1, because he's just a great.
He's amazing.
Great guy. Really, really funny dude overall.
I think they will, because they showed Benito in it for a bit.
Yeah.
So,
well, I guess we'll move on to the biggest news over the summer. We were going to talk about this in the main episode, but we were so close to the F1 episode that I thought we'd save it.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari broke my internet. Everyone didn't know how to feel leaving Mercedes after winning. 7? Was it 6?
7.
6 with Mercedes, 1
Yeah.
with McLaren.
Yeah.
So 6 world titles. They ran the sport for years. Fallen off the past 3 years. 2 years, I guess.
Yeah.
As a Mercedes guy, you were in the merch.
We're in the merch, got this in Montreal.
What was your thoughts on Lewis driving Ferrari, moving to Ferrari?
I'm pissed, obviously. Because, Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton have been one for F1 for so long. It's just weird seeing him go to another team. And my issue is, I don't know who we're going to bring in to replace him.
Now, that is the big talk of the town, because obviously Carlos Sainz loses his spot.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very good driver,
Yeah.
huge name driver.
But I don't know if he'd want to come to Mercedes is the thing.
yeah, and there's a couple. Oh, of course, the photo that came out of him talking to Horner and all that stuff. But I do want to say I understand why you'd be mad because that's like your superstar for all those years. Lewis Hamilton, one of if not the best driver ever. Leaves your team, but can you blame him though? Because growing up, Ferrari is that team that everyone wants to go to.
Yeah.
That was the pinnacle of racing for so long. That's just like the iconic team, and you have to admit, Lewis will look good in a Ferrari.
He will look good in Ferrari red. That's the thing.
Are you confident to leave the Mercedes teams on the shoulders of George Russell?
I am. He's starting to get better, and I think this year they need to put him where as driver one instead of Lewis to kind of get him into that role. Well, it also depends on who they bring in. I'm hoping they bring in like a Lando Norris,
Even though he just signed up again at McLaren.
I know.
But that would be a good shout. I mean, you could get Checo because maybe he moves on from Red Bull.
Yeah.
And Carlos steps in. Checo wouldn't be a bad driver.
No, Checo would be great.
Older, but some experience. Definitely proven driver, but that would be very interesting to see. I hope Lewis kills it at Ferrari. That'd be pretty sick. Him and Charles is a dangerous.
That's a deadly duo.
But they gotta switch it around. Who knows what Ferrari is gonna look like this year. But I mean, if you guys are watching this and you have any thoughts on Lewis's move to Ferrari, let us know because of course it is a huge deal if you are into F1 and what you think about it. But should we move on to the rankings then now?
I'm excited.
Drive to Survive Season 6, good. Didn't just focus on Max. That's
very, very good.
Lewis to Ferrari, huge news, but no one saw it coming. But
no,
we've had time to digest it, and we can't blame them. But that will be very interesting to see.
I'm excited to see that
Mercedes brings in. I'm gonna go out on a limb, and out of if they're taking a current driver, I'm gonna say Mercedes takes Bottas back.
I think it could be Fernando.
Maybe for just 1 year.
Maybe.
Do you think Fernando?
It could be Fernando. Depends on when his contract's up.
Yeah.
Because I'd be sick of fucking driving with Stroll.
Yeah. Fuck. But his dad pays your fucking mortgage. So
he does.
You can't blame him. So, should we start with the liveries?
Yes,
we'll
of
start
course.
with the liveries, and the first one we have is the Red Bull. The Red Bull livery. We're gonna start with them because, of course, Max Verstappen ran away with it last year, kind of like he always does. We hope for different, but this qualifying hasn't said anything. A very black look for Red Bull. Maybe navy blue. It's hard to tell from this photo, but overall, more or less, it's the same design every year.
And it always looks great. That's the thing.
Here's the thing, though. I'm not a big fan of this one, T.
The bull's not as big.
That's
the issue, I think.
I like the bull, but I think it's just too bland.
Yeah.
It sponsors navy all over and Red Bull and then the iconic bull.
Yeah.
I
feel like if they would have made the bull a bit bigger,
a
little more yellow like last year, it would have been nicer.
Our tiers for this, by the way, are GOAT, Solid, Meh, and Garbage. So if you are listening on audio, this is going to be a struggle for you, obviously. But we do have video on Spotify. So
we do.
Maybe stop and look every once in a while at these liveries. But this boring-ish Red Bull one, T-Cat, what are we saying? I personally would put it in Meh.
I'm okay with that.
Here. And why Meh? Because, like I said, I think it's just boring.
Yeah, they don't change it up.
The only thing that stands out is that bull, of course. I think if they add maybe yellow pinstriping, could be good too. But I understand why you think Solid, but I think Meh for sure.
I'm okay with that, honestly. Like, it's the same thing every year. Like, try and spice it up a bit.
Meh, and they'll probably win again this year. Who the hell knows? Next one, your team, Mercedes. Interesting look. Every year they rotate between silver and black, back to black this year. What are your thoughts on this car? I'll let you go here. And the red accents.
I like it as always. It's a good car. But again, I would like to see something different, but you can't really sway away from the silver and black.
Yeah, they have that little bit of silver down the middle and down the sides here on the pods. But, I'll let you lead the ranking here.
I think it's solid.
Solid? I like the red, too.
And I do like the little, Mercedes logos.
Yeah, like on the back wing. I do like the red. I think it kind of stands out a bit. Like, they could have done more to incorporate it. They have this little line here. But overall, I think Mercedes has a solid option. I do like the fact that they included the silver and the black.
Yeah.
I think that, looks pretty sleek.
No matter it's hard to go wrong with those.
No matter what the year. The next car is the McLaren car. So this photo isn't very good, so I pulled up another one here. I'll see if I can find it. Okay, so we found a better photo of the McLaren livery here. That's not just a front view. T, a lot of black.
I've noticed that with a lot of cars this
yeah,
year.
I mean, I guess it's
A lot
it's
of carbon, yeah.
Weight, paint adds that much weight you wouldn't think. A lot of carbon. I always like the wheels.
I do too. The Google Chrome.
The Google Chrome.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty sick. But I think this is an ugly ass car.
Yeah.
I like the baby blue that McLaren works in once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even the silver, like their older cars. This is awful. This is dog shit.
Like, you could have done so much with orange and black.
Yeah.
But they
This-
just
this-
didn't do it right.
Because
this
you
year.
have the orange on the wing, a lot of orange, and then it just goes black with
Yeah.
orange accents, and then orange at the back. I think this is a dog shit.
I feel like if the colors would have been inverted, like you have the black on the front and the
Yeah.
orange back there,
Mhm.
it would have looked a lot better.
Well, T, what do we think of the McLaren?
Garbage or meh?
I think garbage.
I'm good with
I think
that.
this McLaren can definitely go in garbage. Again, if you're watching this and you disagree with us, please let us know. I'd be
Mhm.
very interesting to hear your take. Next up, the Ferrari. Very big fan of this one.
Timeless.
I love the red and black. Of course, you can't go wrong with red and black. It's very hard to fuck up red and
Mhm.
black. But the
Especially that red.
yellow pinstripes
I
throughout
love
the
it.
car and the front of the car, I think is absolutely phenomenal.
I think we might have our first goated here.
T, any thoughts?
I love it. Like, just the Ferrari red always does it for me. The one year they kind of went a different route, I was disappointed, but I love this. I love this car.
Yeah, I think it just is a good looking car, and I think it will be safe to put it into GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Aston Martin, a color scheme I've always been a big fan of.
Yeah.
I love this emerald green sort of. The only Canadian driver reps it. Again, a lot of black. T-Cat, I will let you talk on this one.
I like it, but I don't love it, you know?
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same as last year again. We
Yeah.
don't see a big difference. And it is a great colorway. It's just, it's not really doing it for me.
I always like this yellow pinstripe they add,
Yeah.
like the accents. I like their wing. I always like that,
Mhm.
Aramco or whatever it is.
Mhm.
And I, for some reason, like, a good livery, a good car to me is kind of like a good soccer shirt. Like the sponsors,
Yeah.
make or break it sort of. And I really am a fan of this Valvoline sponsor that they have that kind of
It
sticks
does
out.
look nice.
The V. I think this one we can just put in solid if
Yeah.
I'm ranking it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Like, it's nice, don't get me wrong, but it's not, like, up there for me.
Yeah. So shout out Lawrence Stroll, who had quite a big episode on himself in the last season.
Yeah.
It's just, it kind of is just intimidating. Like he's just,
But he's a scary man.
It's kind of like scary. I don't really know how to describe it. Next up, one of the wildest name changes this year. Before we get into the livery, let's talk about how the team is now called Visa Cash App Racing Bull. What used to be Alpha Tauri, Toro Rosso, now Red Bull Cash App. Racing Bulls Cash App Visa or Visa Cash App Racing Bulls. That just can't be a name.
That's
can't
so stupid.
It's
Like,
fucking,
I hate it. The Visa Cash App,
Yeah.
I can't even. It's a mouthful.
like when your sponsorship becomes your name. That's when we have a problem.
Yeah.
A problem. It's very wordy too. I think they should have just went because they're kind of trying to disassociate themselves from Red Bull.
Yeah.
I think they should just went with Racing Bulls.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
Racing Bulls is the team name. You already have the big Visa and Cash App.
Everywhere,
Or
all
like
over
the
the car.
VC Racing Bulls
Yeah.
or something. You don't go Visa Cash App Racing Bulls as
Mhm.
your team. Like the acronym is VCARB or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's stupid.
It's ridiculous name change. Unfortunately, I have to say it all year because Danny Ricciardo, my favorite
Yeah,
racer,
yeah.
races in it. Shout out Carter because I know Yuki will be in this one as well. But horrible name.
Horrible name and honestly, horrible looking car.
We'll get into the car in a second. Because I have a differing opinion. I actually really like this car. I really like that it's different. I like that it's not full of black.
I do as well. It's just
You don't like the blue and the silver.
no.
The name sucks.
I think it's just a name that puts
the
it through.
name fucking sucks. The name is honestly a disgrace. You can't approve a name called Visa Cash App Racing Bulls.
No.
Like that can't happen. That's like
We don't like that.
Greed or what? Like what the fuck? Like that. Well, First, let's get that. I understand sponsorship, but Visa Cash App Racing Bulls as your name. Crofty's gonna have a fucking.
He's gonna be
He's
screwed.
gonna get a hernia by the end of the year saying that shit. Fuck. But the car, I like that it's a throwback.
It is a throwback.
I love the color of the blue.
It is throwback
Blue
to
and
Toro
red
also.
is always hard to make look.
Yeah.
I like the silver, and I just like that it's different. And I would put it in solid.
I was gonna go meh.
But I understand why you think meh, because overall it is a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot. But
And it feels like the fucking sponsors are attacking you. Like, Cash App's on there at least 3 different times.
yeah.
Like, it's
Both
fucked.
wings, yeah. Which, well, they'll be seeing those a lot because when Yuki loses his wing in corner 3, they'll
Yeah,
be Cash App
exactly.
everywhere. Shout out Carter. But it's bold and it's aggressive.
It is.
I think it's solid, but I'm willing to understand if the public isn't a fan.
Yeah.
And I'd be willing to put it in meh
I think
For
it's meh.
for you. I'll put it in meh
Thank
because
you.
just honestly because of the name. Fuck.
But that's what I'm telling you. It
Whoever approved
ruins
that-
everything.
Whoever, Mikey, this is so not right.
Exactly.
You can't have that name, man. It's brutal. Next up, Alpine. Black.
Yeah.
It's black. Alpine's car is black, and it sucks because Alpine always have a pink car,
I'm always
Pink
excited
cars?
for the pink car.
and they always have a very colorful, eccentric car.
Yeah.
And this one's just black. It's just black with blue.
It's just not the same.
I don't-
It doesn't make me think
it's
of
all
Alpine.
carbon.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
And they still got last.
And qualified, and they look like shit.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it. Bring back Renault, please. Like that yellow and black
The yellow and black was
was
so good.
fucking sick.
Yeah.
But I can't get on board with this T.
I
I'm
can't
willing
either.
to put it with garbage. What are your thoughts?
I'm the same way. You just expect so much from them. They always have the nice pink car that everyone looks forward
And
to.
even the pink car is all black.
It's stupid.
Fuck
Like,
it.
they put no effort into it this
Garbage.
year.
Fucking garbage. Garbage. Next up, another crazy name change. Steak F1 team, or Sauber Steak F1 team, commonly known as Steak F1 team. I think it's actually called Sauber Run Steak F1 team
Yeah,
or whatever. But Steak F1 Racing Team, another name that just can't happen. Cannot happen. You can't just
No.
be called Steak F1 Team. Again, a brand can't be the fucking name of your team.
Mm-hmm.
But T-Cat, very controversial one. Black and neon green. It definitely pops. It definitely catches your eye. It's about the same color as this button.
The lime green, baby.
I don't know. I don't know on this one. I'm going to let you take it away.
I'm a little biased. Lime green's my favorite color.
Oh.
So I love this car. I've been waiting for a car like this to come into the sport. And it's different. I don't think it's goated. I think it could be solid.
I think they could have done better.
I do as well.
I think the matching of the colors they could have done way better. I think the parts of the car that they made green, they could have made more, maybe interchanged some parts.
I see that.
I think they definitely could have done better, but I love green and black.
I do as well. Like, you can't beat it,
I mean,
really.
I'm kind of wearing it right now.
Exactly.
So I'd be willing. I think it could be a lot better.
Yeah.
But lime green's your favorite color. But I don't know if I can put it into solid.
I'm good at top of meh.
Okay, we'll put it in top of meh. I just can't put it in solid. It's a very polarizing car.
Yeah.
This is one I'm really interested to hear the listeners or the viewers' opinions on,
me
because
as well.
it's definitely a bold call.
It is.
To go lime green.
It is very bold.
But
Very.
we shall see. We shall see. Next up, Williams. Just a classic look from Williams. Blue and black.
With the Duracell battery on
Duracell
top.
battery, which I love.
Me too.
I
It's
love
so
it.
cool.
It's so dope. I love this one. I
I do as well.
think there is a lot of black,
Mhm.
but I think it just looks
It
clean.
they incorporated it well, I find.
Yeah.
Better
think
than other
clean.
teams. I think it is.
I'd put it solid.
I was going to say the same as well.
Probably not the same as the race finish, but
Yeah.
we'll put Williams solid. And then finally, Haas. It's shit.
Yeah.
To me, it's shit. All
Shit
black,
last year, shit this year.
all black, a little bit of red, and a little bit of white. I think it's garbage. Dog
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
And kind of like them this season, I have a feeling.
Without Gunter?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Love you, K-Mag, but
Just not doing it for us.
garbage. And that's really enough said. And I like this
It
because
is.
we have one in GOAT. And I think that's...
I think it's proper to only have one there.
So we'll run through our rankings here then. In the garbage tier, we have McLaren, Alpine, and Haas. Garbage. Meh. Stake F1 team. Red Bull. And Visa Cash App Racing Bulls. Brutal. Solid Mercedes, Aston Martin, and Williams. And then in the GOAT tier, the best livery on the grid, according to Athan and I, is, of course, Ferrari. Hard to fuck up that one.
You can't beat up Ferrari.
So let us know. Do you agree with our rankings? What would you change, if anything? And let us know what your rankings would be for sure. We'll move on. Let's start. Should we start with ranking teams or drivers?
I don't care. Let's go drivers.
Okay, so we're going to be ranking our drivers now. Again, we have 5 categories this time. World champion, only can be one. Runners up, upper midfield, lower midfield, and bottom. So bottom 20, lower midfield, 19 to like 15 sort of thing. Upper midfield, 15 to 10. Or 15 to 10. Runners up, I do 5 to 2. Yeah. Or I don't know, lower midfield.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out because runners up would definitely be 5 to 2, I'd say.
Yeah.
World champion 1, 6 to 10, and then 10 to 19, and then 20, of course. But T-Cat, our first driver appears to be. Is that Alex Albon? I think that's Alex Albon. Alex Albon, our first driver. Actually, a surprising season last year. I was very impressed with Alex.
I was as well.
I'm a big Alex fan. T-Cat, Alex, what do you think?
He's gonna be in the lower midfield, I'd say.
Yeah, right around. If you were to make your call,
I'd say probably 11, 12-ish.
Probably 11, 12-ish. I would agree. It's always hard to tell with Williams.
It is.
The grid seems very close this year. I rate Alex as a driver.
Yeah.
But
just the reliability of his car.
We'll put him lower midfield. I think that's safe.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got all my numbers down on my paper here. I'm willing to say, I'll put. I think Alex. Looking at the other drivers and their cars. I think Alex would be a solid. I think I'll put him 13th. T-Cat, you say 11?
12.
12? Which is still, lower midfield sort of deal. And then we'll do that. Boom. Or boom. Okay. Next up, Fernando Alonso. This is a very interesting one. Had a great year last year in that Aston Martin. Started off good, kind of tapered out towards the end, but overall, it was a good year for Aston Martin. Fernando Alonso.
See, I have trouble with this one.
I would put Fernando 7th. 6th or 7th.
I was going to say around the same. Because I know who I want in the top 4 about.
Yeah. 6 or 7. I think I'm going to put
7. I'm going 7.
Yeah, I'm going to put Fernando 7 as well, which means he would be in the upper midfield.
Yeah.
Upper midfield. Next up, one of my favorite drivers, Valtteri Bottas.
Booty ass.
15th.
Yeah, 15th. I was going to say the exact same.
15th for Bottas. I mean, I don't have a lot of faith in Alfa Romeo. I way overhyped them last year.
Yeah.
But I just love Valtteri Bottas. As you can see with the mullet, maybe inspired by him. Who knows?
Enough said.
Just trying to grow in, but I think Bottas. I think 15th will be good. Next up, Pierre Gasly.
I'm gonna say 16. I think.
Now this is kind of cheating because we saw qualifying. And Alpine looked dog shit.
They did.
I like Gasly as a driver. If Alpine can, it's a long season, right? If Alpine can turn around, you say 16th. I want to put him around 12ish.
High hopes for the lad.
12ish. I'm gonna put him 12ish.
I'm trying to think of who I'm putting below first.
Either way, you're not gonna put him bottom. So
I'll go 14.
So we'll put him lower midfield. Yeah, I have Gasly 12th. He has him 14th. Next up, very interesting pick here. Lewis Hamilton.
Ooh.
Lewis Hamilton. T, you can go first with your prediction. Because you are, of course, a Mercedes fan.
I'm going to go 5th.
Wow. Lewis 5th.
Mhm.
I think I'll put Lewis. You're right. You got to think about who ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna put Lewis 4th.
Ooh.
I'm gonna put Lewis 4th. I have him either way. He's I have him runners up. You have him 5th and
Yeah.
runners up as well. So I'll put him in 5th as well. Nico Hülkenberg. I'm gonna go 18th. 17th, 18th.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
go 18th.
Hülkenberg 18th for me. T-Cat. Are you as well 18th?
18.
You just don't. I'm not a big fan of Hülkenberg as a driver.
No.
Just doesn't excite me. Next up, Charles Leclerc.
Easy number 2 for me.
Yeah, I think that one is out of a doubt. He, even with in the past few seasons, Ferrari being unreliable.
Yeah.
I think Charles is.
He's an amazing driver.
Is one of the best drivers, and I think him and Lewis, who we have next to each other right now, will be a force to reckon with.
That's going to be a scary team.
In the coming years. But I would also agree 2nd for Charles. Next up, K-Mag, another one of my personal favorites. K-Mag.
19 for
I can't see
me.
him do much better than Hülkenberg. I'm
No.
going to put him 17th. Because I don't have a lot of faith in... you know what? Yeah, I'm going to put him 17th just because I like him. Just because I like him. But either way, lower midfield. Max Verstappen. We'll just put him world champ.
Yeah. Enough said, really.
One of the most dominant seasons in recent memory last year.
Mhm.
And he just looks to be on that same pace in qualifying. And, he kind of makes the sport not exciting. But, I don't like
You
him.
got to respect greatness.
I don't like him, but you have to respect greatness. As you said, for sure.
Mhm.
For sure. Next up, Lando Norris.
Ooh, baby.
I'm going to put Lando 8th behind Fernando in my rankings.
This is the tricky part for me.
8th behind Fernando in my rankings.
You know what? I'm going to do the same.
Wow. So upper midfield, following the, just following me. Don't want to be different or what?
No, because I have to save number 6 for someone.
Okay. You gotta do it strategically. So for me, Lando 8th. That might be controversial. No, there's a lot of people, especially the female watchers of the sport, that really like Lando.
They do. They love him.
But
He's cute.
8th for me. Next up, Esteban Ocon.
16th for
And
me.
I kept that lower place. So I think he'll be worse than Gasly. Personally, I don't like Gasly.
I don't like Ocon.
Ocon. Sorry,
Yeah, he's just a little bitch, to be honest.
I don't like Ocon.
No.
I do like Gasly. Don't like Ocon. Just to
Mhm.
clarify. So I'm gonna put him 16th as
Yep.
well, in the lower midfield. Next up, Sergio Perez.
I have him coming in 3rd.
Now, this is a tough one for me, but he had his struggles last year,
He did.
but Red Bull they're just so good.
That's my thing. His car is amazing. You kind of have to
He's a
do
good driver.
Mhm.
I like Checo, competent driver. I think 3rd for
Yeah.
sure. Oscar Piastri.
I'm going to go right behind his teammate at number 9.
Yeah. Again, very impressive last year. I think Piastri 9, behind Lando in 8.
For his first season,
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah, I want him to fail personally because I am a Danny Rick Dick rider. Love me some Rick Dick, but pause. But he's grown on me.
Yeah.
And I kind of rate him. So
I do as well.
He's kind of lived up to the heights. So
Mhm.
I'll put him at 9.
Yeah.
So we have 2 upper midfield spots left, 2 lower midfield spots, 1 runners up spot because we're doing 5.
Yeah.
And then of course last place. Next up, Danny Rick. I'm very biased.
I was going to go
I'm
10.
I'm gonna put Danny Rick. 10. I'm gonna put Danny Rick 10 for sure.
Mhm.
And I think that, you know, Alpha Tauri and Toro Rosso are notorious for having bad cars.
Yeah.
There's a couple rumors going around that they have last year's Red Bull with them, and that was a great car as we saw.
Exactly.
And I just love Danny Rick, and I think 10 is pretty fair.
Yeah.
With take my bias.
Because we know what he can do.
So lower midfield for sure.
That'd be up.
Or
Or
upper midfield.
Yeah.
The final spot in upper midfield for sure. Next up, George Russell.
I got my boy George coming in at number 6.
Wow, T-Cat. I'll tell you what, we have the same rankings because I have George at number 6 as well. And that's just because, you know, I like George,
Mm-hmm.
but I think this next guy, Carlos Sainz, has a point to prove this season.
I do as well.
And is going to finish 5th and drive the fuck out of that.
I have him in
Ferrari.
4th.
You have him in 4th.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Sainz in 5th. You in 4th again, not too different, but just he has a point to prove and a chip on his shoulder, and I think he's going to
Exactly.
He's
Gonna rock it this year.
He's going to rock it. He is going
Contract year.
rock it. Next up, Logan Sargent.
I have him. Oh shit.
And here's where I think I fucked up.
Yeah, I'm at the same.
I have I have 11th, 14th, 19th, and 20th left. And I like Sargent. So you know what? I'm going to put him 14th.
I'm gonna put him 17th.
I'm going to put... Fuck, I rated the Haas boys too high. I'm going to have to try Sargent 14th because that's what I have left. And you know what? Fuck it. You know, rough rookie year, but he can grow into the role. I think he'll be matured this year and he'll be ready to go.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see. 11th. It's out of 3 here.
Yeah.
You know, Yuki, Stroll, or Joe or Gojang Yu for me. I don't know if you're missing 11th as well. You are.
11. I might go Stroll here.
Oh my god, my rankings are bad.
Yeah, I think I'm going Stroll.
I'm going Yuki. Yuki and 11. Right behind Danny Rick. Fuck it. Why not? Lower midfield. And then, I don't know how this happened.
13th, I have Yuki.
13th Yuki. Stroll, for me, is going to have to go 19th. Which, honestly, I don't hate. I don't hate that. I think his car is better than that, but Stroll just doesn't impress me. And that means bottom, I have Gojang Yu.
Yeah, I do as well. I knew he was going to go there, honestly.
Gojang Yu. This is kind of like a draft ranking sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But T-Cat, 20-1. Name your driver.
So, first place, Max.
Max, okay?
Second, Charles. 3, we have Checo. Then Carlos.
Yep.
Lewis. And then we have George in 6.
Yep.
Fernando 7.
Yep.
Lando and Piastri 8 and 9.
Yep.
The Honey Badger at 10.
Goat.
Stroll at 11.
Yep.
Albon followed by Yuki and
Yep.
then Gasly.
Yep.
15, we have Booty Ass.
Yep.
Ocon, number 16, the most hated man on the grid.
Yep.
17, Sargent.
Yep.
Followed by the Haas boys, K-Mag, or Hulk, then K-Mag.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zhou Guanyu in last place.
First of all, let us know what you think of Athan's rankings. And I'm gonna read mine now, and I definitely fucked up. I ranked these Haas boys, a couple places too high. I'm gonna start in 20th. Guojang Yu. Not the biggest fan of him the way he drives. I think this is definitely a prove-it year for Zhou.
Yeah.
Then Stroll 19th, which honestly I don't hate
No.
because I don't know if I feel like his heart is really in it. Then Nico Hulkenberg 18, Magnussen 17. I think that's a bit too high. Ocon 16, Bottas 15th, Sargent above Bottas. I have Sargent 14th with maybe wrong as well, but you got to back the American boy, I guess. Alex Albon 13, Pierre Gasly 12, which also might be too high.
Mm-hmm.
Yuki in 11th, Danny Rick 10th, Piastri 9, Lando 8, Fernando 7, Russell 6, Sainz 5, Lewis 4, Checo 3. Charles 2, and of course Max Verstappen at 1. Okay, now it's time to rank the team. Formula One teams. This one's easy because our grid has the positions all done. We don't even need to write this down. Fuck going old school. Constructors. The teammates combined will start right away. Get after it. 10th. T-Cat.
It's the Haas boys.
100%. 100%. At them 18th, 19th. I think my driver's standings. I know that our driver standing, may not exactly align with this part of the ranking, but fuck it. We're just going to do what we feel.
We're going off the rip.
Don't fucking, be like, well, you ranked them here. They can't get
Just shut up. We don't care.
mathematically can't be. Shut up, okay? Shut up. We're not a math podcast, okay? Just
Definitely not a
enjoy
math
the fucking
podcast.
rankings here, okay? 10th Haas. That's I think we can all agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay? 9th. Ooh. Do we want to get bold?
Do we? Who are you thinking? Because I kind of have.
It's between 3 for me.
For me, there's 2.
Williams,
And
Alpine,
Kick.
or Kick.
Kick Sauber, sorry.
Which one?
I'm going Sauber.
Kick Sauber.
I don't think Bottas can carry them out of that depth.
Okay. Kick Sauber in 9th. I like Bottas. I think maybe they could be 8th or 9th. Either way, I'm happy to give in to 9th. But we'll have to see. Next up, 8th. Williams or Alpine?
I'm leaning more towards Alpine.
Wow! Fuck it.
Fuck it. Let's do it.
Alpine, you look like shit in qualifying. Figure it the
Dead
fuck
last.
out. You're a big team. You're a big fucking team.
It's all the Frenchmen there.
Figure it out, man.
Get on it.
And that means 7th Williams.
Yeah.
Alex Albon, Logan Sargent will finally learn how to drive this year.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Let's do it.
Well, we know Albon can drive.
Let's get bold. Your car looks good. Let's get bold. Fuck it. Let's make the call.
Let's do it.
Okay. I like it.
Next,
6th.
Visa Cash App Red Bull.
Visa Cash App Red Bull. 6th in the constructors. I think that would be a huge win.
100%.
This team. Huge fucking win. They got Danny Rick. They got Yuki again. Shout out Carter. They got Yuki.
Shout out our boy.
Shout out our boy. I wish you were here, but you can't make this happen. Sucks. But fuck it.
Fuck it.
This is bold. I already like this is bold. I love Danny Rick. Enough said.
It is.
5th.
Aston Martin.
Wow. 5th. Aston Martin. Okay.
You see where I'm going with this?
I like the 2 drivers.
Yeah.
Stroll doesn't move me. Good car.
No.
Car can propel them, maybe even top 4.
Yeah.
Maybe over Mercedes. Who knows? But 5th, we'll play it safe, and then you want McLaren.
Yeah. You want that McLaren in that 4th spot.
Because 2 good drivers, promising drivers, but their car, you never fucking
It's
know.
unreliable.
You never know about their car. They could be 6th at the end
They
of the
could
year.
be.
We don't know. But we're just going off. We're backing the drivers. Maybe I'd put Aston Martin 4th, though.
I
Fuck
like
it.
them there.
We're buzzing.
Because Stroll's not going to do much. Alonso's going to carry them again.
Yeah. So fuck. Okay, fuck 4th. Fine.
3rd, it breaks
3rd,
my heart. Mercedes.
Mercedes, easy call.
Breaks my
2
heart,
good
but
drivers. You don't know about the fucking car. If Lewis can turn it on, though.
if he turns it on this year,
Second.
I will be so happy.
Easy
But-
second.
Right now, Charles is the better driver.
And that leaves Ferrari second, and then of course Red Bull first. Which those don't even need any explaining. Ferrari always seem to be having a great car year after
Yeah.
year, but reliability is an issue.
Mhm.
2 phenomenal drivers, and then Max Verstappen. It's just unfair. So we'll run you through our constructor rankings, and then let us know what you think about them and what you would change. In 10th, Haas.
Yeah.
9th, Kick Sauber. 8th, Alpine. 7th, Williams. 6th, Red Bull, Visa Cash App, Red Bull Racing Bulls. Fuck, stupid fucking name team. 5th, Aston Martin.
Yeah.
4th, McLaren. 3rd, Mercedes. 2, Ferrari, and 1.
It just feels
Red
right.
Bull. It just feels right. We buzzed through that. Feels right. T-Cat, that is going to do it for the F1 part of the podcast. I think this will be a part of another podcast.
Yeah.
If it's not, thank you for listening. Leave a like and a subscribe. We'll see you next week. If it is a part of another podcast, back to your regularly scheduled program with the rest of the boys. From T-Cat and I, this has been the F1 segment. If you stuck around through this, thank you. Even if you don't care about the sport,
We appreciate you.
thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. If you just watch this part because you like F1, thank you. We
Thank you,
appreciate
Carter.
you. We love you. Thank you, Carter. Back to your regularly scheduled program.
Enough said.
Enough said.